MTN SME Hub. Link to growth, link to success, link to the ultimate resource for business advice and insights.
Welcome back to the Big Small Business Show, and in this segment we're going to talk about something that I think is quite sensitive, but it's a very important discussion to have. When we become entrepreneurs, it's not just us that become entrepreneurs, our whole family becomes part of that entrepreneurial journey. And for some of those family members, husbands, wives, even children and parents, it can be very traumatic for them. There's a lack of security that comes with that journey, and you might be able to handle it, but perhaps your husband or wife cannot handle it. And so we've invited Thulani Kunene, who is an entrepreneur. He's also a family law mediator, and he's come in to talk to us about, well, being married and being an entrepreneur. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
How did you get into this space?
2012, Sheriff came and took everything.
Sure.
Business did fail.
Yeah.
And when he came to knock at my house, we produced the anti-nuptial contract. He couldn't get there, but he took everything in my office. So I know what it's like to put your family through such, where you're unable to pay for bond, you're unable to do your normal duties, financial part. Later, I carry on with the business, it improves, and my previous business that I've been running for years, fixing printers, I come across this lawyer, I'm trying to sell a printer, and someone says, take this call, and she talks to this person, she turned red, she got angry. When she finishes, I said, everything okay? She says, no, these clients are wasting my time. They want to mediate. I make more money processing a divorce. Then I asked her, what is mediation? She told me what mediation is. That was 2020 during lockdown. Mm-hmm. I then looked up what mediation is. I took the courses and I enjoyed the whole process. But the whole goal, because I've been there, I wanted to help those who are going through that. We all know that divorce is expensive. Mm. And most people who go through a litigate divorce, they never recovers. Mm. They spend so much money on litigation. Mediation is where we sit around the table. I help couples separate amicably. I will then help them with a co-parenting plan moving forward if there's kids, because that's another contested part. If people are divorced, one party doesn't have access to kids, mm-hmm. especially if they cannot provide financially. What we say is that, or what we talk about is that kids are not DSTV. Mm-hmm. You don't pay to watch kids, mm-hmm. or to have access to kids. DSTV you pay, you watch. Mm. But with kids, it doesn't work like that. Yeah. So my goal is to fix the future so that kids don't get affected.
So in mediation, so let's talk about the two routes. One where the business goes down, but in mediation, is one of your goals also to ensure that they don't get divorced?
Yes. So I run premarital classes, mm-hmm. not Bible-based.
Yes.
We look at the real practical issues.
Yeah.
Are you compatible, number one?
Yeah.
Say upfront before you get married that this is the route I'm choosing. Mm-hmm. So we look at entrepreneurs and artists. They fall within the same bracket because those people don't bring steady income. Yeah. They will bring a huge amount at a certain stage and then nothing. We'll look at all of those things, religion between the couple. How many kids do you want? We'll also look at the in-laws, how we're going to take care of that. But what I start with, who are you? Mm. If I ask a person, who are you without your titles? Mm. It's not an easy question. And yet people rush to get married, trying to impress the other person, not knowing who they are.
I've got I invest in businesses, and one of the business I invested in, a husband, they did get divorced. It's not based in South Africa, and the wife followed him to the other country, and she didn't. And she basically said, "Choose between the business or me," and he chose, and it wasn't her.
Yes.
Yeah, and I wonder that, and I've heard that before, where the spouse makes them choose, makes the entrepreneur choose both ways, Both side, whoever is the entrepreneur. So I just want to put that as point number one. Point number two is when they're both entrepreneurs. I've also seen issues when they're both entrepreneurs.
Yes.
And the business is sucking so much of their personal resource out of them, they've got no time for each other as well. So one, I've got no time for the marriage. I'm trying to get this baby off the ground. Number two is we're both in this thing. And number three is once a business has failed, and then the entrepreneur goes back into the corporate world and also carries some level of baggage around, I failed as an entrepreneur, which also affects their confidence in their marriage. So talk to those three things and give me some things to think about.
So let me start with the last one.
Yeah.
We are proud if we fail because we've learned how to do things.
Mm-hmm.
The person who made the globe, I forgot his name, he said, I'm happy that I failed 99 times before I could get the globe
Edison.
right. Yes, Thomas Edison. Yeah. And changing from that stigma of being a failure.
Yes.
I'm not scared. I don't carry a stigma for have failed so many business, but I know now what not to do so that business doesn't fail.
Yes.
Coming to couples, there's this one thing that I don't know how it works universally. If there's unity, things tend to succeed. Mm-hmm. If the spouse and the spouses are united, there's the better chance of that business succeeding. Whereas if one spouse is pulling and the other one is not, that business, most cases, they fail. And I've seen that.
Yeah.
At a stage where I was pulling my own, my wife was not supporting, failure did happen. After our marriage counseling, she started supporting me, not financially only, emotionally. That's when I saw things happening. And those are the family businesses that we talk about. If there's unity in business, two heads, two minds can make things work. It's always being said, what I use in my premarital, two people can move a couch. Easy.
Yes.
But one person can't.
Yes. Let's talk about the environment where you've got two entrepreneurs who are married to each other.
That's what I'm coming to,
yeah.
Where I'm talking about unity. In most cases that I've come across, if we have different line of businesses, it's something else. But if we are both entrepreneurs in the same business,
yes.
That's what I'm talking about, the unity that will help the business thrive.
Okay.
However, if it's two businesses, it's a bit of a challenge because one of us needs to be a risk taker, the other one needs to be a buffer.
Yes. Yeah, it's a very interesting topic, this. And as you said in your introduction, it's something we need to talk about because it happens a lot. And I love the fact that you included artists in that round. So, Thulani, that's all we've got time for. I just have to say that in my journey, I've written about this. I think if my wife had doubted me once, just once, my knees would have buckled in those first years, especially when I was technically insolvent. And having somebody to back you is critical to our success, and we should always appreciate those that back us. That's all we got time for today. Do remember, if you think it, write it down and make it a reality.
The Big Small Business Show, proudly sponsored by MTN Business.